Hello, 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 everyone. This week we will be showing first of all, welcome to Soul SIS Podcast. I am Laura, one of the hosts. And this week we will be playing one of our replays as everyone is spending family time. Wanted to be mindful of that. If you haven't caught this episode, it is on healing through the holidays. So we will be playing that live today. So hope you can join us and feel free to chat in, chime in, and we will play the show and enjoy. And you can always follow us or catch us on YouTube. But today we will be playing another episode of the past replay of Healing Through the Holidays.
One, two, three, four.
Hey, 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 ladies. How's my girl?
Hi. Hey.
Hello,
Oh,
everyone. Let's give everybody a minute to tune in here. Today's podcast topics can be pretty interesting because it's the three of us, right? Who could tell our stories better than we can?
exactly.
And so, yes. And so today we are talking about healing through the holidays. So for all three of us, this is our first holiday season without our significant other. And so we're all kind of navigating through this and the best way that we can, right, with our families. And so just kind of want to explore and get to know how you guys handled this holiday. It's, with it being like the very first holiday with us being single voluntarily or involuntarily.
D, you want to start?
I'm already aware. No, I found my divorce almost 2 years ago. So last holiday, me and my ex did get together with the kids to have like an inclusive family gathering. So this year was a little different. And I was actually going to sit this holiday out, but my kids like, Mom, let's do it. Let's do it. You have the turkey. So I'm like, okay. So what I've learned, even going through that, emotions that I was dealing with, I learned to start creating new traditions and celebrations with my children, especially since this technically would most likely be their last Thanksgiving here for maybe a year or two. Um, so going with the flow and continue to move forward despite it all, because it's hard navigating changes. And then it's like another change after the other change, but still being optimistic, like, hey, you are loved, you are supported, you are comforted.
Right.
Now it's just time to re-identify how you want to do things going forward.
Absolutely. No, that makes perfect sense. And yeah, I forgot you did this was, the very last year was your first year, right? Kind of getting
Yes.
yeah. How about you, Carlotta?
So for
How was this
me,
holiday for you?
it was
Or
very
this
unique.
Thanksgiving?
Very unique. So I agree with D. Adjust and create new traditions is a new thing for me. I mean, it has to happen mentally first, because prior to me being married, I really wasn't celebrating, holidays like we have been in the last, 2 decades. Um,
Mm,
I'm just also giving myself permission to feel what I feel.
yeah.
If I,
Yeah.
lonely moment or just kind of processing the thoughts, it's okay
Mhm.
to feel what I feel. There's nothing wrong with even acknowledging that you feel that way. So I
Right.
want to say, like, I felt lonely, but it wasn't like a lonely, like a sad lonely, like I'm concerned lonely. It was just my kids are actually getting older, so my youngest is going to be
Yeah.
10. So I decided to just be creative, because that's the Carlotta in. And so I had told the boys, hey, apart from that, their grandmother took ill, so I really didn't want to pull them away, like the family dynamic they've known since birth. So I just, did dinner for them the following day. And I had told them like next year I'll just do breakfast, you know, the
Mhm.
brunch, and because they usually go to church first thing in the morning, and then we do Thanksgiving. So I was like, we're just gonna change some things. But this year I want to keep it, simple, or keep it similar to what they've experienced. So just, like he said, creating new traditions, and to me, just giving myself permission to feel whatever it is that I'm feeling for the moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so for me, um, I guess for the past 17 years, my late husband, Marcelo, he would be the one waking up super early, um, cooking in the oven, the turkey and everything. I was not the cook of the house, right? So he was the one that had the Thanksgiving dinner done. So even though we went to family house, he did still cook here so that when we came back, we had food here to eat during the holiday season. And so he would be the one to cook. And so this year was kind of different, and then so today this year I actually ended up celebrating Thanksgiving Eve with my boyfriend. And then I went to celebrate during the day with Charlita, one of my girlfriends, during the day. And then in the afternoon or in the evening, I went to celebrate with my family, which was traditional for us. So it was still, common for the kids, and it was still normal for them, right, to be around my cousin and her family and all of our family into one of the houses that we go to. So that was one of the things that remained the same, but the only thing that was different was we didn't wake up to like home baked turkey and greens cooking or whatever. Marcella would be cooking up in the kitchen, and instead, we waited out and then went to family house and ate there. And then um, I started back up what I normally had done before. Last year I skipped. I didn't do it last year because my husband was sick, but traditionally I had a Friendsgiving. So I brought that back this year. One of my girlfriends, Jamaica, it was just 2 weeks ago. She's like, "Aren't you doing your Friendsgiving this year?" Oh, I guess the last minute planning, right? So I went ahead and okay, everybody come. And then the day of, I'm like, boom, 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 scrambling to get the tables and chairs and everything together. So that's what I do every event. I
And
am
it was
just
a great event.
Thank you. I am the worst event planner. I'm not a planner at all. And so I wing it. And so yeah, so I put a Friendsgiving together, and so that's going to be my New Year tradition. Since I don't cook, send people over that do cook, and I just order something, and then have them come and eat with me. And so it just kind of brings people together and just kind of makes my house a little bit of a home when I have the friends and family over, sharing memories and stuff like that. So it was nice. My girlfriend, Shay, had also came and shared some lovely memory that I completely forgot about, how I met and recruited her when I had Silhouette. Carlotta was not there. Oh my gosh, let me tell you.
No, she said she said she came from Alabama and she was waitressing. And you walked up to her, I think. That's what she mentioned. I
So
was like,
Carlotta, you
oh,
didn't hear the story.
that's why they call you Madam Laura. Here we are.
So I completely forgot. And so we're doing like the intros and hey, how did you meet? How do you know Laura and this and that? Because there were people there that didn't really know each other. And so, this is my girlfriend Shay, 24 plus years of friendship, and her and I. And she was like, I said, how did we meet? Right. And so she started telling the story. She was like, yeah, we just moved here from Alabama. I was in my early 20s. We all were in our early 20s. She's like, yeah, I was in my early 20s. And Laura walked in. I was working at Charlotte Russo, and Laura walks in like, oh, you're talking to me and like small talk and like, oh, you're from out of town. Oh, you want to kick it with me and my girls? Like, you can come out with us, And she goes, next thing I know, I'm in booty shorts and halter tops, giving out hypnotic shots. I'm working for Laura. I'm working for Madam Laura.
Yeah, she's a bottle girl.
Oh, that's how I was recruiting them back then.
Okay. Be like, I'm a business coach now, but let us have fun.
Yeah, yes, that's so crazy that I completely forgot, because we've been friends for over 20 years, and then we also were roommates, and and so over the years life happened. She moved out of town, like she moved to Minnesota. I moved to Michigan, got married, everything. And so she too was one of our guests, and she too is currently battling stage 4 cancer, but her resilience is just so amazing, and touches my heart. That's my girl. But yeah, she said I came home and my daddy was like, "What the heck?" She had the booty shorts on. I was working for a modeling company. I was working for Metal and I'm like, oh my
Which
gosh.
is
But
why-
then fast forward to now, we do have Silhouette back 5.0. It is now have evolved, and I did bring Silhouette back, but now Silhouette is modernized to content creation. Now it's a
Right.
different kind of marketing, right? Back then it was Silhouette modeling and marketing. Now it's Silhouette Creative Studio, where we help models and other people make and create content, artists, photographers that need space. It's just all around a place to create, basically. So it is.
That's actually that's one of the points I wanted to make today with connecting with supportive people. Some of the people that you can connect with is family, close friends, of course, a support group. Or someone who will listen, because they have to be able to at least respect your emotional boundaries, which is something I found within you all. So I have to make sure I publicly, because I definitely try my best to privately acknowledge that. When you're used to just like the home dynamic in a very small circle, when you expand out of the box, as they say, it's important, to be around and respect your emotional boundaries,
Absolutely.
So,
Hey, Daisy is watching live right now, guys. Say hi to Daisy.
Hey, Daisy.
Hey,
Yeah.
Daisy.
So just different things to honor our loved one. Well, not in your case, but for anyone who did lose a loved one. In my case, my son, Carmelo, he actually brought his dad's picture with him to our Thanksgiving dinner to the family house. So that's his way of including dad still in, even though dad is gone. So he had his dad's photo with him, his obituary photo and stuff too. So yes. So what are some things that
I do want to
yeah. Hey, Miss Valerie.
so I wanted to with the boundaries, as well as what Carlotta said, boundaries, as well as uh dealing with your emotions. Deal
Yes,
with them, take them in. We're all human beings,
absolutely.
so both are key,
Mhm.
especially going through the holidays, because you don't want to fluctuate in your emotions, as well as take it out on people, because you're already dealing and carrying something that you're
Mhm.
transitioning to another part of your life and re-identifying. So that was
Yeah,
good, Carlotta, that you mentioned
that's yeah.
boundaries, as well
Yeah.
as
No,
dealing with your emotions.
I respect.
Mhm.
A point that I wanted to also make is just setting the gentle boundaries.
Mhm.
That you may join something. As much as I was mentally and wanted to be at this Friendsgiving, it's still the sense of
Yeah.
respect a loss for me. So I just like I might go whatnot, but I was looking forward to being able to spend that quality time with my children.
Yeah.
The timing and all didn't happen, but I still was excited to see the videos and the posting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's okay to, select what events you will go to. We had a ladies'
Mhm.
night. So I was like, we was good after that in the celebration holidays. But nevertheless,
Right. Which was amazing, by the way.
But we brought it full circle at the gala, right? We brought it full circle at the gala last night.
You sure did. That was so much fun, and everything in me was trying to steer me away from going, but I'm like,
yeah,
shoot, I paid $100, a snow, rain, sleet. I'm going. I'm gonna go show up, and
look,
I need it. I'm like, and I need it. because that's
dress.
how,
That's why I said I'm not wearing the dress I ordered because the one that I ordered for the gala did not show up. So I'm like,
it
I'm
didn't
wearing
show
this dress.
up. Exactly. So we had to find a last minute dress.
Twice. We ordered with
Twice.
each other together. Then I turned around, ordered a separate one, and I'm like, it's still not here.
That didn't
It's
come
supposed to
either?
arrive on my birthday.
Oh
I'm like,
my
happy
God.
birthday.
Yes. That's true
Oh
because
my
the one we ordered
goodness.
together didn't come in, and then this one I ordered on Amazon where you can see it.
But we look
you
good.
know,
We look good.
pages. I'm like, I'm not wearing this in the storm in Chicago in the snowstorm at least. I was like, no, all the time. So
Oh yeah. No, it all worked out, and you
It's
know, it
really
was
cute. I like
there
that.
was like everything in me, and that's another thing that I do want to touch on. The reality of it is, whether you losing a spouse that is through death or through divorce, you know, there's that parenting sometimes with smaller children, but like when you actually lose someone, now you are the parent, you know, and or co-parenting, right? Then you have to juggle the co-parenting and all of that, and where they're going and everything. But in my case, being a widow and being that last night I had that gala planned, it was like before I went and dressed up and looked all fabulous going out, nobody seen the backside of just like I have 4 kids at home, and I just left urgent care with one with strep throat. I was up with my newborn grandbaby, or my 6-month-old grandbaby, because she was up coughing all night. Then my grandson, like chasing them around, you know, like nobody really sees that side of the parenting of the mom. And so I think Mari had came and helped me with them so that I can go and enjoy myself. I think she got a little glimpse of what I do. They have to call me like every 5 to 10 minutes, like, hey, what do we do about this? Hey, I'm like, welcome to my world. Yeah. It's like, so I do try my best no matter what's going on. If I just had a kid out of urgent care, as long as they're okay, they're taken care of, I need that break. We need that break. You know, if you are dealing with a loss or had a loss or separation, and you are the single parent and you are the widow or whatever the case is, you need that break for yourself. You know, you need that mental break and just to kind of reset. So I take whatever time I can take when I could take it. And that includes my social life too, right? Because as you know, why we announced
And
it on the
don't feel
last
guilty about it. Do not feel guilty about it.
Thank you.
I'm learning.
And sometimes we do, you know, sometimes I do feel
Yes,
guilty
we
about
do.
it. And sometimes they make us and remind us, and they make us feel guilty about it because, you know, as you know, the last podcast I had announced that I was dating someone and that I wasn't going to announce him yet, but I did, you know, start showing, you know, him and stuff online and all that. But when my son, my 9-year-old son, he was when he caught a little glimpse that mommy had a boyfriend, that kind of hurt his little heart, right? And so I'm like, how did he hear me? I was on the phone, and I guess I was saying babe to my boyfriend or my man, whatever you want to call it.
Mm.
And he sent me a text with a sad emoji with the crying face. And I'm like, what's wrong? So I went upstairs and I'm like, what's going on? What's the matter? And he was like, I heard you calling someone babe. And then when you hung up, you were talking to your friend and you said you were on the phone with your boyfriend. And he was crying. And he was just crying. And he was just like, mommy, I don't want you to replace dad. And I don't want, he was just like uncontrollably crying. And I don't want you to replace dad. And I don't want you to have a boyfriend. And if you get married to him, I'm not going to show up to the wedding and all this stuff. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. First of all, let's pump the brakes. Like, there ain't nobody getting married or anything anytime soon. So you can stop worrying about that. But, I tried my best to explain to him that, that we have to live our best lives and, all that whole nine. Like, daddy's not here, daddy's passed. He's now no longer with us physically. I said he's watching over us, but he's physically not here. And I said we have to live our lives the best that we can. And I asked him this question. I'm like, well, I let him know, like, we're all going to go there one day, right? I'm like, we're all going to pass away. And our job is to be happy and be grateful for life, right? For life and for living. And every day is a gift. So when I went to the parent teacher conference, I sat down with his teacher and she gave me this drawing. I don't know if it's even around here, but I had it. She gave me this drawing that he made, and it said the three things he's grateful for Thanksgiving as a Thanksgiving project. And one of them was friends and family, and then one of them was life. He was grateful for life. So I felt like whatever I said to him resonated to him, and it showed up in his project at school that he's thankful for life, because I'm like, we have to be thankful for life. But then the next day he came up to me and he was like asking me when he got home, mommy, do you have a boyfriend? I say, is that a trick question, son? Like, you just asked me this. How should I answer that? I don't know how to answer that. Should I say yes? Should I say no? So he was like, mommy, it's okay for you to have a boyfriend. And I was like, oh, really? He was like, yes, it's okay for you to have a boyfriend, because Tia told me that before dad passed away, that he says that it's okay for you to have a boyfriend and he just wants you to be happy and live life to the fullest. And that's why I said it's okay for you to have a boyfriend. And whatever makes you happy, mommy, that's what daddy would want. So that's what I would want. So do you have a boyfriend? Oh gosh. So that like warmed my heart, and that made me feel better, that he was accepting the fact that, it's okay for me to move on and be happy. So hey there, Nina. Our friend Nina is
Hey,
here with
Nina.
us. Yeah, so it's just one of those things, navigating change, and when it comes to the kids, right? That's one thing that you never anticipate, or you don't anticipate, right? How the kids are gonna feel, and how that's gonna impact
I
them.
agree with that because I had my son, and I had to commute him back, to go be with dad and stuff. And I was just like driving, coming back and forth, trying to get to the event.
Right.
Sometimes you need your own space to get ready. So I didn't want to, he's like, you're going to a gala and, what are you wearing? Like, he's always into, what I'm going to do before the fact. And he was like,
Right.
well, so, you could be with your friends. And it was just like weird. He's like, can I just go? And I was like, no,
Mhm.
it's a night. And he's like, all these girls night. I say, son, I'm like over 45. I probably have one handful, like five, if that, And,
Exactly.
but yeah, even going to the office, managing work, there's a
Yeah.
lot that mean, and
Absolutely.
somebody said it's well deserved. So, you know,
Yeah, yeah. And then, like, to have that added thing of the social life, right? Or even if you're dating, or you're, whatever, you still, that's still time. Like, you have to like block off to even make that happen. You've got a household you're running. With me, I have a household with 7 of us here, right? And then the business, I'm running the businesses, I'm running um, the children, they're in
your
my care,
schedule.
from foster care, like, just trying
I
to
know.
juggle everything. So I
Yeah.
really do look forward to any kind of me time I get. So any kind of girls' night, or any kind of me time that I'm able to get, right? Because you need that. You can't just keep going, or you'll run dry, and then you have nothing more of yourself to give. You have to refill. I feel like when I do these things, it just refills me back up, my energy, you know so yeah. So do you guys feel like, well, I think we already know the question. Well, for me, I know my holiday is different this year. Do you feel from last year to this year, was it different for you, or in any way?
It was
For me, it was
different for me
complete.
personally. However, it's not a bad different. It's not a bad different whatsoever. Um, it's almost like I mentioned earlier, re-identifying who you are as an individual
Absolutely.
and taking on new traditions, but also
Mm-hmm.
being in tech with your emotions, like Carlotta mentioned, and putting up healthy boundaries. So this past Thanksgiving, I did prepare dinner for my family, but then I went to visit my baby sister who was also hosting and my nieces and nephews.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try to visit my family, feel the love. And I know we be so busy with life that we barely get a chance to see our family. So it
Absolutely.
was good and refreshing to see them. And I also got a chance to see my other sister. And it was good. It warmed my heart. So then after that, of course, I attended your Friendsgiving and we attended the gala. So I feel like even during the time of change, um, be aware of who you are and where you at and the season that you're in. But also
Right.
continue living. Continue living
Yes.
because
Yeah.
if you
That's
stop
the best
because
part.
you're afraid or uncomfortable with that change, you're going to sit in that, and you shouldn't sit in that because then depression arises, then you end up having health issues, then you end up becoming just miserable and taking out your
Mm-hmm.
frustration on other people.
Yeah.
And be around people that's going to bring out the best in you, that love you,
Absolutely.
that care for you. um, and make sure you're aware of those things as well. What's within your capacity is within your capacity. And I've learned
Mm-hmm.
that these past few years, you got to keep moving forward. Yeah, keep living, no matter
Absolutely.
what obstacle is put up against you.
Yes.
And it's for the betterment of who you are. It's for the betterment
Absolutely.
of who you are. You know,
And like Nina says, date yourself. That is so
date
true.
yourself. Hey,
I
I'm on
like
that. I've been dating myself for almost a year and a half. The first time I went on a date by myself, I cried. The second time I went
Oh,
on a date by myself, they was like, "Is anyone joining you?" And I was like, "No, it would just be me." And I sat there, and I just kept continue to make it a thing. Even like walking through the forest preserves, working out,
mhm.
doing wine tastings, attending events. Y'all know I attend events by myself solo. So it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
hey, getting out here because not only do you have to date
Absolutely.
yourself, but you also have to make sure you're feeding yourself with that
Yes.
positive energy for things
Yes.
that's gonna
Absolutely.
grow you.
Absolutely. Growing. Let's talk about that a little bit. Um, what are some things that I guess we could do to grow ourselves or to be better with taking care of ourselves or dating ourselves or loving ourselves, having dinner by your like day like Nina says, having dinner by yourself, go to the movies alone, solo is great, feel comfortable and get to
Yes,
know
I'm.
what you love.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yep. And I think my
and it
thing
feels so.
is,
It's so peaceful.
yeah.
Everything that Nina put in there is so peaceful. Trust me, you'll be like, "Oh, this is different." However, I get to watch and eat what I want to watch and eat.
Yeah, nobody
You enjoy
ordering
your
it for
company,
you.
and I truly believe once
No
you.
one ordering food for you.
Yes, look,
nobody ordered for
once you
me.
enjoy yourself
Woo.
individually and you're comfortable with being alone, ain't nothing,
Absolutely.
come against you. It's like you know who you are.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just
And it's
rediscovering
not even,
yourself,
uh,
I guess.
mhm. I think I like the fact, like, for me, with having the five kids, my kids are older now. So, like, even the 10 to 21-year-old. But it's like anytime we did go out to dinner, it was always family dinner. It was never like, as they say, couples or, even a solo
Hmm.
one, which he's been persuading me.
Absolutely.
I got the outfits together. I just got to get the tenacity to like get to the restaurant, which I'll be there, because it's something new for me. But I think, the, can I say the distraction of while you're trying to eat and chew and cut their food up and divvy out their stuff and hope that they don't act out in public so you're not embarrassed while you're trying to swallow. Like there's so many parameters. I'm serious. I'm just being real.
That's
When people,
true. It's true.
oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
told them, and they was just
No,
like,
no, that's real. That is real.
I know.
I'm like, can I sit and just swallow my food and realize that I'm somewhere eating? Can y'all just act like you got sense? Like I really have parented you in a better manner, like the whole conversation, like forget it, just my stuff to go.
That
Yeah.
is so
So that's
true.
the thing. No, dating yourself is much more than breast and eating the food. It's
Yes.
appreciating, the seasoning and the
Yeah.
flavor, ambiance, So I
Talking
Yeah.
about seasons and change and all that, I think for me, I feel like I am rediscovering myself again. I think I've mentioned this before. And, you know, I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of people don't know this. But within my marriage, I was married for 17 years, together for 20 years. And so um, it feels weird, weird in a good way, because now I'm feeling like I'm able to be free,
right,
because my identity is not tied to a specific person, a husband. Not, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, in a bad way. I choose, to be in a relationship because that is, my who I would God had me with, right? And so, however, throughout the process, I felt like I did kind of lost myself in the process, if that makes sense, because all of a sudden you're no longer you, right? You are all of a sudden a wife, a mother, a grandmother, and oh, you come last. And so, one of the things that, with my late husband, he was very old school, and I was not like stuff that I wear that might be like make me feel feminine, kind of say, if I say it that way, like maybe a shorter skirt, or if my back was showing or something, like he would make comments on it, right? Although yes, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, because I left my dad's house at 15 years old. So that's the reason why, is because I don't want to listen to nobody. So yes, I could have been like, whatever, and I have done that, but it just wasn't worth the fight. A lot of times it wasn't worth the
right,
fight. I would just compromise and like, okay, he might not be comfortable with this, okay, whatever. So I got used to that, to not doing what I wanted to please the significant other, to please him, and compromising to please him. However, so I all of a sudden I became somebody else. And then now I feel so like free, right? Like
Lib-
last night, what is
yeah.
it?
It's a liberated in a
It's
sense.
very liberating.
That's
Yes.
And
amazing.
I'm
There you
able to
go. That's the
just,
perfect word.
and people are like, you have this new glow. Like, I've never seen you smile happier and or smile bigger. And I've had so many people comment, like, you have this glow about you. And you have, it's because I'm, I feel like I could be myself, if that makes sense. Because sometimes, I will be
Absolutely.
like, I'll say something and people like, shh, don't say that and don't do this and don't, so it's
Yes.
just kind of like, okay. So now I could say whatever and I could do whatever. And then, my new man, he a lot, he embraces that, and he's just like, yeah, I'm smiling up to my eyes. It's so
Eyes.
true.
Oh,
And my
eyes.
girlfriend, I went out to lunch with her the other day. Hi. Oh, I'm glowing. Thank you, Mama Sonia. She met my man, Opio. And so yeah, so it's just different when you have somebody that actually embraces you to be who you are, and like welcomes it, right? Like it's just weird in a way, but I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess, because I don't know. I don't know who else deals with it, or if anyone else has that same feeling or been in that same situation. But
I
that's
think for
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me, if I could say I completely relate. So I was raised in a legalistic Pentecostal background, and my kid's father is Baptist. And no bias to any religion.
Mhm.
It was just like there was major changes, to the church setting, or the spiritual things that we do as we continue week to week. I was used to being in church 3 days a week, which 1 day a week. So there was different aspects of those things. I guess in being raised to respect, whether it's religion or the sanctity of how things are done traditionally as a Latin woman, right? So I am mixed, but my mom's Hispanic. So there was certain attributes traditionally I had to change. You know what I'm saying? So that whole
Right.
speaking Spanish around a group of people, they were offended when I was just talking my first language. That was a mind blowing twist thing. And then let's not talk about teaching the kids how to speak that language, and they don't understand because they don't even speak the language. That was very difficult for me, but it's a personal choice I made. I was okay with it. And those are the little things I think when we have a servant spirit, we're or we can be people pleasers, which can be looked as positive and negative, but it's just the changes I would personally say that we have made as women to accommodate relationship, the success of it, the maintain of it. And then you look in the mirror and be like, either you don't like what you see, or you're not the woman you figure you should be. And there's so many different things. And I think, it's
Yeah.
say whether it's divorce, widow, or whatever the case may be. Even some women are still married and they're in that situation.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. Absolutely.
I'm not saying divorce by any means ever was
Absolutely.
the better place to be as
Yeah.
I was, is, but at the same time, it's just exploring and getting to that point where you actually acknowledge things and having
Mhm.
groups like I have right now to be real. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really have sacrificed who I wanted to be or who
Exactly.
need to be because of
Mhm.
this other individual. And I don't think it should be
Mhm.
that, because even friends, sometimes you're like, okay, I'm not gonna do this or that because you don't want to offend other people. So we do it
Mhm.
in friends, you know, I believe. So it's not just in the significant other. I just think
Absolutely.
the fact that we sacrifice,
We-
but we silently sacrifice. So
we-
that, for me, is what I'm being more vocal about in my friendships, not necessarily like,
Mhm.
relationship as it pertains to man and woman, but
Mhm.
just even, when I hang out with child, like, hey, if I don't do this or I don't do that or I don't understand it, like we was out this whole gala now for, I was like, I'm moving because I don't know none of the words to any of these songs. Um, and I didn't know that was a religious thing or a cultural thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
It's okay. I didn't either, Carlotta.
so everybody else is doing but we had a great time. And I think, again, we talked about that respecting boundaries
Take me
because
through
these
that. Take me through that.
yes, okay, let me do it up. It was just so good. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like that's a self-discovery moment for me
Right.
because
Yeah.
we're getting older, whether we're in our 30s, 40s, whatever the
Right.
age bracket is, there comes a point in time when you have to really self-reflect. And that's how it's been for me, especially this year. Although I've been
Yes.
fishing for a minute, it's just, really it's just, especially the holidays, like we start thinking, like I miss my Spanish food. So this year we talk about breaking traditions or making new it was only Spanish food up in this house. It was like andule, pernil. I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
oh, this is that. Yeah, but that's all we making. Because
Yeah.
growing up,
Hey.
how we
You
growing
seen
up,
my collection and my
yeah,
potluck. It wasn't
yeah,
no turkey there. What was
yeah,
it? Papaya salad. We
No,
some
yeah.
fried rice and
But it's
I
important
had
to respect
turkey,
each other's
yeah.
but
differences.
yeah, and
Value.
that's the thing, like you
Turkey.
just said, breaking the traditions. Because I had turkey, but
I had
typically
turkey
I
on
would have like a
Thanksgiving.
mix of
Yeah.
soul and
Like we're
Puerto
wrong.
Rican food.
On road, we just
Yeah.
creating some experiences.
Absolutely.
Make
And in
us
terms
glow.
of glow, I know that feeling as well. Man, that
Oh,
glow. When I mean, the glow comes naturally, especially when you're in your own lane and you're like, okay, let me do this. And you've been working on yourself and
yes.
you know how to identify
Yeah.
the things that you fall short with. Like Carlotta just said, self-reflection is real. Sometimes that self-reflection and journaling and digging deep
Mhm.
down inside
Mhm.
and realizing what you did wrong along the journey, those could be some heartbreaking moments, but then at the same time,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
also healing, so it's
Absolutely.
refreshing, like, okay, let me take accountability. Accountability goes a long damn way, let's be real. So the
Mhm.
glow in itself, not just with the relationships we're surrounded by, but who we are and how we show up in the world. And then, like you
Absolutely.
said, Laura, all of us, I think, have this in common. We always been like, don't say this, don't do that,
Yes,
you
holding
know,
hands. We're
dress
holding
like
hands.
this, you know, and it's like it was like a blueprint. So now it's like, get me out this box. I don't want to do it no
Hello.
more. I want to be me. I want to show up authentically as myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You
And
want
we should
your
be able to.
mind and not have to be, you know what I'm saying, dimmed because of whatever the environment.
You might have to dim your
Like,
light.
you
Hmm.
don't have your light. I mean, because I
No.
think our life is beautiful. I think I should acknowledge that, and our
Yeah.
differences are valuable. I think that's what makes our sisterhood, as we can say,
Hmm.
very strong. It's okay to be different. It's okay to
Yeah.
not do what
Yes.
I do or say what you say.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
elementary school, but I mean, as we evolve, right? There's a change
Yeah.
within us that is expected to come outward. That's important. For me,
Hmm.
like, entrepreneur, I was like, okay, this is my business. I'm
Yeah.
like, that felt so weird to say. Everything was ours and we. So when I started saying my business and I am an entrepreneur, that felt so super weird because I went from like
Yeah.
simple Carlotta to having and doing so much for others that the word
Hmm.
really felt awkward.
Right. Yeah. So with the rest of the year remaining, and New Year's, Christmas coming up, um, how are you guys ending this year?
Mm.
Oh wow.
And you got your birthday
Continue to
tomorrow.
definitely.
D.
I know my birthday is tomorrow. I'll be 41. You know,
Hey,
one
hey,
year of life.
D. What are we doing?
I know. I was gonna say,
So listen, look, and y'all see, I gave y'all a big deal a few weeks ago. Like, hey, it's my birthday. How we skip December? But I didn't make any plans. I didn't make any
Oh,
plans. I'm like, just to be here. I'm grateful. I think I'm going to celebrate my birthday probably next year. However, I just want to soak up the love, even the changes, good and bad, and continue to move forward and live. And I'm gonna be happy. I know that tomorrow. I'll be
yes.
happy. That's for sure. um, and I think that's about it. And for the rest of the year, I think it's just moving forward. Sometimes you don't always have to have a plan. Sometimes
Hmm.
you have to pivot, even when there's a plan in place,
Yeah,
and
true.
being okay with that. Being okay with that. A lot of
That's
people,
true.
they have this map like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Or they have these list of things that they've accomplished. Sometimes you don't always need an audience. Sometimes everybody don't need to know what you're doing. However, as
Mm,
right,
long as you're living intentionally, as
absolutely.
long as you're living for you and those around you and showing up as your best self unapologetically.
unapologetically, yes.
And being
Unapologetically.
happy. Make
Yes,
it
and
whatever,
happy. And
whatever
at
makes
peace. Let's not forget the peace.
you happy.
That's a
Happy.
all understanding. Okay, so
Absolutely.
yeah, I would say for myself, I'm going to show myself grace by allowing myself to step back when needed. So,
Hmm.
just stepping out of the moment, stepping out the box,
Hmm.
um, letting myself cry. It's not, depression and all that. I mean, there's a lot of negative things that we can see with tears, but sometimes there is a release. Um, Allowing myself to pause, to be able to return back to whatever, whether it's, the project or the conversation, or the experience. And I think just honoring moments of joy without guilt. That ladies' night was amazing. We've done that a couple times. I think the celebration of life for Laura, when that started, the
Hmm.
first girls' night for me, because I was like, to be able to be, as I say, received in a well manner, because you're
Hmm.
different. You're all different, but like when your differences is what's picked on or what's made to
Hmm.
be negative, to be allowed to be in that circle, and well received is important.
Yes.
So for me, two things I want to do, and I've been talking about this, but I'm gonna personally be accountable for it. Is like I'm a business diva, so I'm in a collaboration of authorship with other women, that are entrepreneurs. But I really have been writing since fourth grade. Um, and I really want to finish my poetry. What's finished, but put that cover together. So I'm talking to my business coach and get my stuff together. But I want to do a photo. We did a photo shoot for us in our sis podcast and whatnot. And it was an amazing experience. I just for me, I think as my birthday comes up after Dee's birthday, for sure.
Hmm.
So I want to do a because they were like, "You look young, you get younger every year." I'm like, "Boy, I look what I've been going through. It would be different." But
No, you
Yes.
don't. No, you do not. And that's a
Not
beauty in
at
that. We
all.
don't look like what we've been through.
yeah, we don't.
Oh no, not no.
Hey, hey. Yeah,
What?
it's a blessing, you know.
No.
We don't,
Oh
and
my
look, and we don't wear it on our sleeves.
Right.
no, we don't wear our problems on our sleeves at all. I know I don't. I try not to. I got a lot of stuff going on, but I don't try to carry it because it's too much for us to carry. So for me,
Yes.
I got a trip coming up to Hawaii. So for me, I just want to get in the like the mood, the routine, just get started. It's just exercising. I don't exercise. I have a treadmill upstairs that I've had for probably about 5 years. I bought it during the pandemic. It's just a clothes hanger. I probably use it like 5 times. Other than that, it's hanging clothes. I need to take the clothes off and turn the hanger, turn the dang on thing on, and start just exercising, right? Because that just helps a lot of things. It helps with releasing the stress of the everyday things that we go through, and also just gaining that momentum and stuff. Like, just want to start being healthy. Next year I turn 49, so I just want to focus on putting better foods in my body and just really being intentional, right, about living, being intentional about feeling good while you're living, not trying to be sick, not trying to be any of that, because I watched two people in my life go down that way, and through stress and through health issues with my mom and my late husband. And so I just want to really focus on being able to exercise and get back in shape and stuff like that. So, and then I got the Hawaii trip, so I'll be gone for about a week for that. And then I don't know how the holidays are going to look this year. It's going to be kind of weird. The Christmas and New Year's, I was at the Thanksgiving, and one of my girlfriends is going to Vegas for a week. And so her and her family, they're doing Vegas for a week. And she's like, "Hey, you want to just come to Vegas and, hang out for a week?" They're staying at one of the casino hotels there. Like, we don't have to wake up, cook, the kids are off school. So, and then my man lives in Vegas. So that's another plus. Take the kids out there and get a little place out there for a week. I don't know. I don't know what this year is going to look like. It's all up in the air right now. Have no plans. I don't know. But yeah. So, what are you guys looking forward to for 2026?
Oh, oh, oh. Hmm. Oh my goodness.
Silent.
Hmm.
Well, of course, we've been working on, our projects in Elgin. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that launch take its way. Yes. And to also, continue to walk in our freedom and our healing, and joy. But also, of course, y'all know some money is involved. So yes, we are going to hit that plateau because we already been called rich, like we got it. Carlotta, I'm not going to say the exact thing what I said.
I think for me,
So that, of course, and of course, just building new memories and continuing to
Mhm.
re-identify who we are.
love it.
Absolutely.
I think I agree with Dee. I'm excited about the projects that we've been working
Mhm.
off and on with. I'm looking forward to being more intentional on
Mhm.
my entrepreneurial journey. I think I'm transitioning out of that season of feeling, awkward or shy or reserved or guarded about the gifts that have been manifested within me. I think it's a unique
Mhm.
thing that I'm in fashion and I'm creative in that way. So, Laura's been really persuading me and talking about, doing the whole fashion boutique thing in Elgin. And, I don't just want to have a boutique where people come shop and spend money and they're
Mhm.
gone. I want it to be an experience where, it's memorable and not because of what they bought, but
Yeah,
because what they're able
absolutely.
to do with
Yeah.
the clothes that they wear or the beauty part as well that intertwines with the fashion. And I never saw fashion like, getting dressed for church and going out to events is one thing, but when
Yeah.
you can actually touch a life, so like we had somebody who was doing a book signing or had a book launch, and then there's individuals who have different things going on as a branding, because I think that's the term. So I'm like, oh man, these people are like where I was trying to do, business and so on and so forth. So exploring new things is for me is important. And then, we've been talking about the transportation, which is something I do that I don't often talk about, but I really want to branch that out
Mhm, mhm.
with certain individuals like yourself and really talk to like schools and, be able to talk to churches about transportation and the needs of that apart from anything else that it may entail. So I'm
Right.
looking, you know, the launch of that, if I could say.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, that kind of my vision ties in with all of that. Right now, you guys haven't been there, but I did put a wall up to separate. I sent you some photos. So the nutrition bar now has its own space, its own designated space. The extra space that was once the nutrition bar is now going to be utilized as part of the salon suite. So now I will have my own salon, right? Where I will hire stylist and we already hired a nail tech. We gonna get someone in there for waxing, but my whole goal is and it's never changed. It's always been that same goal. It's just now we have a designated area for it, but the hair and makeup for people when they come, right? Like the styling and the hair and makeup, but our focus for the beauty side with the salon chairs, the three stations that are going to be up front, it's for the media studio, it's for weddings, it's for models. It's a quick turnaround. It's hey, it's for people who have hair loss that just wants to come in and leave feeling good. It's for someone who wants to come in and get a blowout, right? It's not going to be your typical, hey, I want to spend 5 hours doing color. It's going to be, hey, I just want to come in and leave looking fabulous. Throw on my makeup, put on my hair. I need to go live. I need to do content. Go in there, you go do your thing. We'll do your hair and makeup. You go right downstairs and get your content done, right? So focusing on the launch because we already have the licensing or the occupancy approval for downstairs. This week is the occupancy approval for the beauty salon. I mean, not the beauty salon.
Fine.
That's already, I
Beauty
meant beauty supply, the beauty supply store while we're
The
waiting
beauty
for the
supply,
beauty. Yep, the
the
beauty
beauty
supply
store.
Wednesday, the beauty supply inspection is coming up. And so we'll get our occupancy to finally open the beauty supply store. So then I'll start focusing on what needs to be done for the beauty school because there's a lot of different red tapes when it comes to schools with zoning and everything. So I just want to hurry up and get these two things launched, these, three things launched now and have like a nice grand opening, which leads me to next Wednesday. We even have people flying from out of state, okay, to come to get to our content creation studio. You guys, we only are 30 minutes
Come
from
on, somebody.
O'Hare,
Come
okay?
on.
Your package can include you flying in
supply.
and get styled up by us
Hey.
ladies. Hey, come get empowered. We got our business
Yeah.
legal. D Dominatrix is head of
Mm.
our legal side, our operations, like the strategic side. We've got Carlotta. She's in charge of our styling, make you look good, your clothing. Me up on my side, I'm in charge of um, the hair, the makeup. I have, stylists to do that for you, makeup artists to do that for you, hairstylists. And then also, hey, Miss Lindsay. Hey, love. I love you. And so we also have, and then I also I'm in charge of, the content side as well. the marketing branding side, so business coaching side. So yeah, if you are not in Elgin, if you are in other states, you can get, I love you back. You can get a flight, a cheap flight, round trip. We'll get you in a hotel. You'll see the total experience. We got Danielle, who has just launched her brand. Um, she's coming flying in Wednesday, and so we get to style her up. We get to, do all this stuff for her brand. So you'll see how that flows. We'll post things. I will show you all of that. But yes, we've got people that fly in to utilize our services. So just because you live far doesn't mean that you cannot be a part of us, be a part of our sisterhood. And so even online, virtually,
This
I'll
is a
have
global
some.
movement.
This is, and even online, we'll start having some different training, some different coaching packages. I will be doing that as well, because I know a lot of people have especially been asking me about, hey, how do I write my book, how to get my book published and stuff. And I did a free class in the library, but there I had some online people like, what about us? Okay, I will get some online stuff going on too. So that way you can, learn that stuff from either online or in person, because I think everybody should have a book. It's passive income. If you don't have one, I will help you get one, because that is passive income. I get a royalty check from Amazon every 3 months that I don't even count on. Even with content, right? Content from Facebook, that's the passive income that I talk about, because we always talk about, multiple streams of income. And passive income is income you're getting no matter what. You're not trading time for money. It's you just sitting on your couch or going to sleep, and you get a cha-ching, you get a check, deposit in your account. I get paid through social media, Facebook, Instagram, get paid through my royalties. And now my elephants are coming. So as soon as they come, I'll be selling elephants. Be selling my book with my elephant. So just because I have such a large household, I'm taking care of 7 people here, right? I have to, or I'll wear myself out if I don't have passive income that's coming in regardless, because I'm not going back to corporate. I can't. I have too much on my plate and too much invested in my business. Failure's not an option. This has to escalate and has to work. Failure is not an option. I've got
There
a
we go.
beautiful, powerful team right here to help us do it.
Hey.
2026, here we come. And that's it. That's that, right?
Come on, somebody. Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna get through this. The holidays, navigating grief and grace. That's what we're doing. Gracefully navigating the loss, leaving it behind us, and gracefully moving.
Oh, say that again. Hey, that's
Okay.
a come on, say that again.
What? You
Clear
like
it.
that? Okay. We're gonna wear it.
Declare it.
Because like we always talk, and I talk about with Danielle, the grief disruptor. She's the grief disruptor. Danielle, you'll get to meet her, but she was actually introduced to me by Jawan. He is the host of NBC. He has his own show, The Voice, called The Voice, and he highlights, things that matter in the minority communities and stuff like that. And so he introduced us because he started following me on Instagram. And so he wanted me on his show, but then he ran into a girl that also lost her husband. And so he introduced the two of us because he wants us on his show together. And so her and I just connected instantly in my last trip to Florida. We met in person for the first time. And her brand is, she also lost her husband a couple years ago, and to the same thing. And we had so much in common. So we shared so much similarities with the way that, we lost our husband and the things that we went through. But her brand is disrupting the narrative of what a widow should be like. So she's the one who was encouraging me, like, get out there. Yes, go to that date. Yes, go do that. Do that. So she's been the one, the enforcer behind it. Like, who cares what they say? Don't worry about it. I'm like, you do it, so yeah. But that's who we're meeting next week, and that's who we're going to be helping to elevate her brand. So get ready to meet Miss Danielle and help her elevate her brand to the next level. And that'll be, we'll go get some behind the scene footage. I'm actually thinking of going to meet her at the airport so I can actually physically record her like, hey, we got a client that's coming from out of town for our styling, for our brand makeover. Here we go, and just following her journey of the things that we helped her with while she was here. So yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. So, and then that leads us to our last minute. Anything you want to add, ladies, or anything you want to say to end?
Show yourself grace.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. And
That's powerful in itself, especially during this holiday season and going into the New Year's. In life, show yourself grace and
yeah,
just be you.
Yeah, allow yourself
We
to
don't
be
need
different.
copycats in the world,
yeah. Do what you can with what you
Yes.
can.
And allow yourself to also be misunderstood because you're different, and be okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that
I
goes
know
back to
I'm
grace.
different. I know I'm different. I know we all though. That's how we all connected. We all guys. We are the most different people in the world. Okay, so you have Dominitris, who was married to a Puerto Rican Hispanic. You've got the Blasian. Oh, not. You've got me, who was married to Asian, married to a Black husband, Blasian kids. Then the middle one, you've got Latina. We grew up with a Latina mom who was, raised in Latina hood, who was end up marrying a African American, a man, and so we've got all sorts of, identities here, and embracing our differences, all the cultures right here. So yeah, so we are definitely different, and people will challenge us with being different.
It's not a hood. We don't have a hood because hood is from neighborhood. We have a barrio.
Well, I'm straight from the refugee camp.
Barrio.
Straight from the refugee camps of Thailand.
I'm from the hood.
Well, I'm from E-Town. I grew up in E-Town.
Humble part that is. And you know what?
Like my dad was indicted.
Listen,
My parents,
we're all different but the same.
Yes.
That's still a hood.
Stay tuned for our movies, guys, because yes, we're all different but the same. Our lives is almost like we're just born 3 crying babies, one in the ghetto, Chicago. Where did you say you grew up at? Humble Park?
Yeah.
Somewhere in Chicago with some teen moms.
The sister is in Little Puerto Rico. I'm like,
right. What? And then you were raised in somewhere in
St. Croix, but my family's from Puerto Rico. So
Humble Park by my teen parents. My mom was 13 and my dad was 17. So
yeah, and your dad was selling drugs, which he eventually went to jail for. Yes. My dad was fighting a war that we didn't cause.
My dad was absent.
What?
My dad was absent.
look, we all have to listen.
He just absent.
That's another episode.
Yeah, that's the whole.
Look, we just gave them a sneak. We gave them a sneak peek. We gave them a sneak peek into it.
Sneak peek to our movie, okay? Our Soul SIS movie, right?
His 90s, then he wanted to come live with me.
Right, at 90, she ends up raising her father or taking care of him to his last breath.
Yes, yeah.
I have my mom who I had issues with, growing up because I was different, and so she was kind of like put my brothers on a pedestal. It was kind of like, we had friction, and I was a teenage runaway and all that. I'm the one end up basically caring for her last 4 years of her life, bathing her, changing her. She was bedridden. She couldn't do anything. So I'm the one that saved her life and like doing everything. And I remember at my mom's funeral, one of my aunts, she was like, this is why you're so blessed. I'm like, why? She's like, because you do so much and your mom used to put you down and put your brothers on a pedestal. But look at you on the last days of her life. Look who's caring for her and where are your brothers? This is why you're so blessed, because you do
Mm,
things unselfishly. With Doesn't matter what they did to you, you do things unselfishly for
yes.
others. Like that's why you're always going to be blessed, because your mom put your brothers on a pedestal, and she was basically like, they couldn't do no wrong, and she was basically like disowning you, and so, but guess who was the one to basically rescue her at the last days of her life, so I was like, wow, I didn't think anybody noticed,
Yeah.
but my aunt was like,
And
no, I
that's
noticed.
no,
Hmm?
and then you still show up that way. And I think that's also a commonality that we all, I saying you still show up that way. And I believe that's a commonality that we all have
Yeah,
also, that unselfish being
yeah.
and showing
And
up. Even when
my
people
mama
mistreat us, we like, we
Sonia,
love
who
you, we're
just
still here for you. You know? Yeah.
my mama Sonia is the one who took me in when my mama didn't want me. Mama Sonia took me in, and she loved on me, and she raised me up to be who I am today. So
Mm,
you can't mess with me. Mama Sonia gets you. So she helped me. She took me in, when my mama kind of disowned me, Mama Sonia said, "Come to me," and she loved me
Oh,
like I was her
mm,
own. She loved me like I was
mm.
her blood. I couldn't. Yeah, she took care of
But that
me.
speaks
She
volumes
raised
to
me.
even Mama Sonia. That says
Yep.
a lot about who she is as
Yep.
a woman as well. Because I can definitely
Yep.
relate to
Yep.
that. Different
And
women
speaking
stepped
of the
in
hot,
and mentored me, so
absolutely,
into me, you know,
absolutely, and that
and they're
that
very important.
in the spirit of like the Thanksgiving and the holidays, talk about first time eating soul food. And Mama Sonia, what is that? Mama Sonia, what's that rolling in the crack pot? It's called pinto beans.
that's
Pinto
real.
beans. I loved her pinto beans. I miss your food. I miss your cooking, Mama. I should have went to Thanksgiving with you. But yes, I don't know if you cook. You probably stopped cooking. After we left, you probably stopped cooking. But yes, that's when I had my first taste of soul food. Oh my goodness. Throw some hot sauce up in there. Go from sticky rice with beef jerky to like Mama Sonia, get raised by Mama Sonia. And she's like, oh, it's soul food. I'm like, oh, my first taste of soul food. Yeah. Going from loud food to sticky rice and beef jerky to,
Uh,
that was awesome.
I'm like, what is that green stuff in the pot? Green. I'm like, put hot sauce.
Right.
Like, we're putting hot
Right.
sauce on.
I mean, like, it was, and it was like, you remember Mama Sonia? We moved from Blue Springs, Missouri to Sumter.
We gotta
Where we,
have a soul food cooking session at your house, huh?
yes,
So
we do. We end up moving in the
and some
inner
Puerto Rican
city.
food we gotta mix it up, and some
Well,
Laos.
talk about,
Cause you know me, I
yep,
like. You know what I haven't
you
had
got to have
in a while.
all the
You know
different
what I haven't had
foods.
in a while. You probably already.
Hmm.
You
Greens
know
and
what I haven't had in a
cornbread. Yep.
while, and
I
you
put
probably
the
already.
greens with the cornbread. That's when I first tasted greens with cornbread
Huh.
sauce. I was like,
I
yes.
want some. I want some pho. I want some pho. Okay. I want
We'll
some
have
pho.
some pho. We'll have Asia cook us some pho. Yes, we'll have multicultural potluck. Another one next. Yeah. But yeah,
Yes.
talk about culture shock. I was one of the only black Asian. I was probably a handful of Asians at the I went to all black school, inner city school, right, Mama? It was for business. It was
Mm.
a magnet school, so we get to pick like which schools we can go to. And I wanted the media school. I went to a media school, actually, business and marketing like school. So they taught us how to like teleprompt and all the broadcasting and the news and stuff, journalists and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a culture shock, but it was so
Pasteles.
fit in. Fit in. What's that? Pastelas. Yes, we need to have some pastelas.
Pasteles. Oh, that's a delicacy. It's so delicious.
Hmm. All right, ladies. I'm sure we could go on, and we could give a little bit of insight about our movie next.
Yes, we
Little
sure can.
tidbits of our movie, little by little. But we're gonna wrap it up. Everyone have an amazing. What is today? Sunday. Oh yeah, our show's on Sunday. Everybody have an amazing Sunday. I gotta get off of here and then throw my pajamas on and chase after these babies. Chase after these babies and feed people. So yes, you did. You fit in. I did. They didn't mess with me. They thought she was my
Happy
mom.
Sunday, everyone.
But they just thought that she was my mom and that she was married to an Asian husband. So at the school, she's saying I fit right in the all black school. She was like, you did it, just fit in. All right, everyone, have an amazing Sunday, and we will see you soon. Next Sunday, same time, same place.